All right, so now transitioning, we got the SUC versus Swisha House, the WCW versus the WWF.
That's kind of how I look at it, especially like I said in our era, and it felt like that with me in Smithville, but it really felt like that in Houston. They'd say like fades versus braids, and like I think some sort of gang affiliation was repping one side and one was repping the other side, and again, taking all that out of the equation, top five, like you said, like it's a starting five like basketball. We got Mike Jones, Paul Wall, Slim Thug, Chameleonaire, Magno versus Lil Kiki, Lil Flip, Big Mo, Zero, and probably Pokey. Who you running with? It's like the Eastern Conference versus the Western Conference.
This ain't fair. They're gonna be mad at us in the comments. God, you can't. Man, we gonna start the North Side, South Side beef all over. Man, I'm going with. Man, and I love the SUC. And I love Swisha House.
I know it's probably a preference thing, right?
Man, dang, if this is Drink Champs, I would take a shot right
now. Jay, this would be the perfect time to have shots right now for this question. I agree.
Man, I'm gonna go with the house. But I love SUC. But me, I guess it was the time period that I grew up in.
Same.
Especially in high school. I remember being excited when I heard Mixtape Messiah for the first time. I remember seeing me and my older brother, we went ape shit when we seen Pharrell present Slim Thug on the red carpet at the BET Awards. I remember being in New Orleans on Bourbon Street and walking past a car and they were jamming Back Then. Like, you know what I'm saying? And of course, like Paul Wall, I remember the first time my brother bought a mixtape. Well, it was a mixtape he got from somebody in Houston. And the first time I heard a Paul Wall song, he was rapping to the real Slim Shady beat.
I recite that whole bitch you put it on here.
So, man, but yeah, me personally, I'm going with the house.
As, like you said, where's the shots at? I mean, I agree with you 100%. Like, from where we were as kids growing up to where we are now, you gotta roll Swisha House. Like you said, when we talking about commercial rap, and they brought us up. We felt like we were part of them. So like SUC minus Lil Flip didn't really do that for us. We had a
but I can't take no credit from SUC because SUC had to walk so Swisha House could run.
1,000%.
So
1,000%.
And so without Screw, there won't be no Watts. You know what I mean? That's a whole nother conversation for another day.
I agree.
So we can't, I think the SUC came in a different time period.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Before they came, it was a little bit harder. Well, they all had to get it out the mud. But I think in the SUC, because they came off of the great tape eras, you know what I'm saying? And
right.
So I think, without SUC, there wouldn't be no switch out. But me personally, like, if it was, hey, what team you want to play on? If it's a basketball team, I'm going with switch out.
All right, so I do agree. But speaking of the top 10 hip-hop tracks, I think SUC would probably have more of those legendary songs. You had mentioned Man.
Yeah.
There's, like I said, Mo City Don.
Yeah.
I mean, Lil Flip, Lil Kiki Southside. I mean, I love Chillin' With My Broad. There's so many different SUC songs that are like legendary. And to your point, yeah, there's Back Then and Still Tippin' and Three Kings and Like a Boss. But those, when you think of Houston and you just like, you think of SUC for sure. And like I said, I'm from Smithville, home of DJ Screw. So it's hard for me not to say SUC. Like you said, from a fan perspective, Swisha House, from like a legendary
But then
standpoint,
and then we can't forget, man. They had Fat Pat too, man.
Yeah,
even though his career didn't get to live,
bro. It got real dicey when I was doing the Swisha House. Like we were talking about like Lil Ron and Big Tyke and Archie Lee, and I was like, they're good, but like the bench. If we're talking the bench of the SUC, like you said, if you wanted to put Trey in there, we could go Fat Pat. We could go several deep.
Well, Fat Pat ain't coming off the bench. He is starting. Like, if you talk, because he was there from the beginning.
Yeah.
Him and Kiki. So if you would do team captains of the SUC, Lil Flip is coming off the bench. Lil Flip's on the bench, and I'm putting Fat Pat, and I'm leaving. You know what I'm saying? So starting five with the SUC would have to be Lil Kiki, Lil Kiki, Big
Mo.
Fat Pat, Big Mo, Big Hawk, and Big Pokey. That's the starting five right there.
Time out. You just mentioned Zero was the GOAT.
Zero is the GOAT.
He has to start. If he's the GOAT, he has to start.
But see, but only thinking the reason I see where you're coming from. But only thing with that is, he's part of the SUC. But it's kind of like when you talk about starting five, like if those were they were there.
Right.
They were in Screw House. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So was Zero, but they were there from the Gray Tape days.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So for me personally.